The mission of the Federal Emergency Management Agency is to support our citizens and first responders to ensure that as a nation, we work together to build, sustain, and improve our capability to prepare for, protect against, respond to, recover from, and mitigate all hazards. In times of a presidentially declared event, eligible disaster survivors can receive disaster assistance from various programs. But to do this, you, as a survivor, must first register for assistance with FEMA, as well as manage your application. This video will explain how you complete registration, the multiple methods for registration offered to you, and additional tools available for monitoring your disaster assistance applications.
Please provide me with the damaged dwelling address.
Registration intake is the process you take to register as a disaster survivor with your specific information into FEMA's Information Systems database, so you can obtain the needed assistance to recover from a disaster event. FEMA has created multiple methods to register for assistance, making it an easy and accessible process. FEMA also has developed online tools that make it easy for you to access your account to see real-time status of your assistance. Through this, you and other survivors are able to continue to manage your registration, upload documents, change contact information, and track actions of your account. Disaster assistance is granted as resources or in monetary form to individuals and households for losses that are not covered by insurance. It is only available in designated counties with federally declared disasters and is intended to help with critical expenses, not to restore a property to its pre-disaster condition. Assistance varies with each disaster event and is determined by FEMA's Individuals and Households Program based on the degree of damage, available funds, and other existing assistance programs. Examples of this include housing assistance, which is provided for home repair, replacement, temporary housing, and in rare instances, permanent construction. And other needs assistance, which addresses essential household items, necessary expenses, and serious needs that cannot be met through other forms of disaster assistance or insurance like medical, dental, and funeral expenses. With proper preparation, registration intake takes 18 to 20 minutes. To ensure that this process is smooth and efficient, there are responsibilities for both you, the disaster survivor, and the FEMA representative. To best prepare for registration, there is important information you need to have on hand: Social Security number, pre-disaster damaged address, current mailing address, current telephone number where you can be contacted, insurance information, total household annual income, description of losses that were caused by the disaster, and if you want disaster assistance funds transferred directly into your bank account, your bank routing and account numbers.
Good afternoon, Disaster Assistance. My name is Stephanie. How may I help you?
Hi, my name is Rosa and I would like to apply for disaster assistance.
In what state did your damage occur?
Texas?
You are responsible for applying during the proper time frame, as well as providing accurate and truthful information to FEMA. If the information provided is not accurate, it can hold up assistance provisions and delay your recovery process. The FEMA agent is responsible for correctly asking the pertinent questions during the application process and correctly entering the information. As part of the process, the agent can refer you to other agencies or assistance programs.
The Privacy Act of 1974 protects your rights as to how FEMA uses and shares your information.
At the beginning of this process, the FEMA agent must ask if you have listened to the Privacy Act. If you have not, the agent is required to read it word for word. Hearing the Privacy Act ensures that you know how your personal information will be collected, used, and protected by FEMA and fellow stakeholders. After a state, tribe, or territory receives a presidential declaration for a disaster and individual assistance programs are designated, a standard chain of events occurs for survivors in the declared areas. Disaster survivors first apply for assistance from the Individuals and Households Program And if applicable, FEMA performs an inspection to verify disaster-related damage, and then eligibility is determined. You have typically a 60-day period to register for assistance. For some events, states will request an extended registration period. If you are unable to apply during the 60-day period, you may be able to submit a late registration. However, FEMA will need to know the reasons for applying late to determine if the registration will be accepted. It is important to register during the open registration period because until the late registration is reviewed and approved, your application is on hold and you are not able to receive any assistance. There are a number of options when it comes to registering for disaster assistance. In your area, there may be Disaster Recovery Centers, DRC, Disaster Survivor Assistance, DSA teams, or FEMA Corps volunteers to assist you, but those may not always be deployed or available in all areas. However, technology has opened the possibilities for a greater ease and efficiency to register for disaster assistance. You can register online using a computer, tablet, or smartphone at disasterassistance.gov or by phone at 1-800-621-3362. If you use 711 or VRS, Video Relay Service, call 1-800-621-3362. If you are deaf, hard of hearing, or have a speech disability and use a TTY, call 1-800-462-7585. During the registration intake period, Disaster Survivor Assistance teams canvass affected neighborhoods to help you register and provide information on disaster assistance programs. The DSA teams are able to address your immediate needs by establishing a timely presence, provide information and services specific for you, and offer referrals to community partners. DSA crews make every effort to complete the registration intake process during the initial interaction with you. But if you are not able to complete the registration process, DSA crews provide alternative options for completion of the application or refer you to the closest disaster recovery center. During an open enrollment period of a disaster event, disaster recovery centers provide you the opportunity to talk face-to-face with specialists from FEMA, state, tribe, and other stakeholders. Depending on the type and number of people affected by the disaster, DRCs may only be open for a short period of time after a disaster. You should check the FEMA website or call FEMA to verify DRC locations and hours of operations. To locate a DRC, a survivor can use the DRC locator on disasterassistance.gov or text DRC and their zip code to 4FEMA 43362. At the DRC, you are able to meet with professionals who are able to answer questions and provide information on the types of assistance available. Some of the services may include guidance regarding disaster recovery, clarification of any written correspondence received, housing assistance and rental resource information, answers to questions, resolutions to problems and referrals to agencies that may provide further assistance, small business administration program information, crisis counseling, disaster legal services, and disaster unemployment. DRCs include staffing and resources to provide effective communication access for individuals with disabilities. DRCs have accessible parking, entrances, restrooms, and alternate evacuation routes. DRCs provide assistive devices and services for your preferred methods of communication. Communications include sign language and foreign language interpretive services. Communication devices available include magnifying readers, tablets, caption phones, video remote interpreting (VRI), and assistive listening devices. You can register online at disasterassistance.gov or via a web-enabled smartphone. You may also call 1-800-621-3362 and people with speech or hearing disabilities can call 1-800-462-7585 for TTY or use 711 Relay or Video Relay Services at 1-800-621-3362. The FEMA toll-free telephone service's standard hours of operation in the contiguous United States are from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. local time, 7 days a week. You may also choose to receive SMS text messaging, which allows you to receive notifications to smart devices regarding your FEMA application. The official FEMA number displayed on the device is 43362, and the notification will contain the last 4 digits of the FEMA registration number at the beginning of the message. Messages regarding updates will not include specific information about categories, amount of assistance, or additional information needed to process the request for assistance. You can access your account online or call FEMA and speak to the helpline for assistance. You will be responsible for data charges from your carrier. However, the service itself is free. You can reply "Stop" to unsubscribe from the service at any time. Disasters affect the lives of thousands of disaster survivors every year. To ensure that you can return to a safe, secure, and functional dwelling, you need to apply for disaster assistance in a timely manner. FEMA has developed several methods to make sure registration intake can be done with ease and efficiency. Furthermore, the online capabilities and security of disasterassistance.gov help you manage your application after registration to improve delivery of assistance. For additional information on registration intake, visit disasterassistance.gov or FEMA.gov.